What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here at Wall Street PR. In today's video, we're going to be going over a company known as Guardforce AI. Ticker symbol, as seen in the top left of your screen, is GFAI, and they're currently trading at 77 cents per share. And as always, guys, before we break down the chart and before I give my analysis and price targets for GFAI, I'm going to give a brief overview and background of the company, talk about some of the recent news, and talk about some of the most recent catalysts. So if we take a look over here on their official website, on the About Us page, you can see that they are perfectly positioned to leverage the enormous future growth potential of secured logistics, robotics as a service, and cybersecurity within which we operate and continue to innovate. Secured logistics is projected to have a steady and significant growth in the coming years. Remote operations will greatly enhance safety and efficiency at work with the application of AI-driven robotics for access control, information broadcast, and remote services. Information security also represents a fast emerging business challenge, which drives substantial development of the APAC cybersecurity sector. Lastly, if we take a look over here on Yahoo Finance, this article was published on February 18th of 2022. It's titled Guardforce AI Announces Latest Robotics Deployments, right here. You can see Guardforce AI, an integrated security solutions provider, announced today that the deployment of more than 1,400 robotics in the Asia-Pacific region, and this does include Thailand, Singapore, Hong Kong, and Malaysia. The deployments cover multiple industries, including, but not limited to, supermarkets, government facilities, hospitals, hotels, transportation stations, educational institutions, shopping malls, entertainment facilities, and restaurants. And beginning in the fourth quarter of 2022, in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, Guardforce AI began rolling out robotic solution deployments in key markets including Thailand, Hong Kong, Singapore, and Malaysia. A key element of Guardforce AI's business strategy is to offer customers the opportunity to trial its robotic solutions, which in turn has allowed Guardforce AI to quickly establish a sizable market share and gain a meaningful foothold in the growing robotic space, especially with key customers. So that right there is a little bit of a background and an overview on what the company actually does and things like that. If we take a look at some of the recent catalysts, though, this came out one day ago, so Friday, 3/11 of 2022. It's titled Why is Guardforce stock up 80+% today? You can see, if we take a look back over here on the chart, you can see a massive jump all the way up from a low of about 30 cents to the current price of 70 cents per share. If we take a look at this article, though, you can see they did acquire two companies. I'm not going to try to pronounce these. You can see they're listed right here, and the purchase price is valued at $10 million, and the payment will be 10% cash and 90% restricted shares of the company's stock. And according to Guardforce AI, expects this acquisition to be beneficial to its robotics as a service business initiative, and both companies being bought by GFAI are currently based in China's Greater Bay Area, and they did release a following statement in a press release announcing the deal, titled Focused on the hospitality, healthcare, property management, and government sectors. SZ and GZ derive revenues from AI robotic services, which automate repetitive tasks, making them less labor intensive. So obviously, guys, this is fantastic news. This is the reason why we did see that little bit of a price surge, like I just said, from 30 cents to about 77, 78 cents per share, and they were even higher, up to $1.33. Now, if we go ahead and break this down a little bit further, you can see they used to be much higher in the past. Back in late 2021, you can see they were about $3.50 per share, and all the way up here at their all-time high on 10/29 of 21, they were about $4.38 per share before slowly pulling back, and this was no exception to them, guys. The entire market pulled back as a whole, especially smaller cap growth stocks really did take a beating, and this one obviously was no exception. You can see recently they did hit an all-time low of 30 cents per share. This was back on February 18th of last month of 2022. Before now, as of late, they are jumping up. They did gap up, and that's when there's a little hole or a gap on the chart. So that's when the good news was released. You can see some volume poured in as indicated by this big red bar. They jumped all the way up from about 52 cents to a high of 138, and then kind of pulled back down to the current price of 77 cents per share. But obviously things are looking good. They did announce that good news. They are curling upwards, and they do potentially have some momentum going into next week. Usually when you see a volume increase like that, you could expect another day of similar or higher volume and potentially another further move to the upside. So looking at this purely as a trade, I do think they could hit $1.50. I do think they could go a little bit higher than that. But for a long-term investor, I would wait for a slight pullback before entering in pretty heavily. I would enter once they pull back and kind of fill this gap in right here at about 58-60 cents per share. That's going to be my price target to get in for the long term. But if you're looking to play a momentum-based trade, obviously you could jump in right here and hope for a further move to the upside. With that said, guys, that's about it for this video. Be sure to do your own research before investing and only invest what you can afford to lose. If you're new here, please do subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.